Welcome to Story Punk. I am Scott.
And I am Drew.
And today we are giving thanks.
Indeed. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth.
Yes, we are.
The full name of the holiday.
Yes, we are. You're probably listening to this, hopefully, a day or two early. We don't want to release right on Halloween. Whoops. Hello.
We don't want to do that either.
We don't want to release on Halloween. Sorry. Halloween just happened. We're going to release a couple days early, hopefully, so you can listen to our special Thanksgiving episode about Thanksgiving.
Maybe we're making your drive to wherever through hell you have to go to on the roads for the holiday. Maybe we're making it a little more fun.
Maybe, hopefully where you're going to enjoy your time.
Yeah, this is about the crappy journey, not about the destination.
There you go.
I wish you all a very fine holiday.
Yes. So let's talk about the movie Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth, which started as a 2-minute joke trailer from the movie Grindhouse back in 2007, and it took about 16 years to become a real movie.
Have they made actual, I know like Machete, there's been like 3 of them. Have they made actual feature films of all of those trailers except maybe Don't?
They didn't. Well, there was also a Rob Zombie one. It was like Werewolf Woman of the SS or something like that. Well, they didn't make that one.
There's real versions of that. Like Ilsa, I think, just came out on 4K for some reason.
Okay.
So She-Wolf of the SS. Like I don't need a Nazi exploitation.
Yeah, I know. Really, I feel like we're kind of like, let's not
just watch the news.
Yeah, no, really. And I think what else was there? So there was Don't, Machete.
Hobo with a Shotgun. Which they made with Rucker Hauer.
Was that one of the
I think
trailers?
so. I think it was.
I thought that was a movie that they made. That he just did a that they funded or something like that. They did some kind of grindhouse.
I'm gonna take a look. There are 5 of them, and they've made movies, I believe, of at least two of them, but maybe more. Maybe more. Yeah, Machete. And Werewolf Women of the SS. That's the one I forgot. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Don't, Thanksgiving, and Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, there you go. So they made 3 of them into quote unquote real movies.
They're definitely things that were filmed.
Yes, and the I always like to give the internet summary, which was: after a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts. But I say it's basically there was a riot at a Walmart-type store at a small town over a free waffle iron. So people died, and 1 year later, masked killer in a pilgrim outfit started killing a bunch of the idiots that were involved with the riot, that I guess we're to assume that this person feels they were most responsible for the mayhem.
So this is I Know What You Did Last Thanksgiving.
I guess something like that.
Which that's not as much of a mystery. I mean, you ate turkey and you fell asleep and stuff.
Unloosened your belt and
hopefully had a really pleasant meal with your family and didn't talk politics, which I wish for all of you this year.
Yes. Our feline engineer right now is determined to stop the podcast. The thematic elements here, which is kind of silly, it's a very ham-fisted commentary on capitalism and consumerism. Obviously, whenever you're showing like stuff dealing with crazy people on Black Friday, it's a commentary on capitalism and consumerism.
And I'll be honest, when watching this movie, this is the second time that I've seen it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but I didn't think of that kind of commentary for even one moment.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's just like I'm not saying it's not there. It's definitely there, but I think it's not part of my experience of the movie. I think
it's so obvious that you might not see it. It's like, that might be why. And also, I think it also deals with like irresponsible social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are probably 2 of the things that we're looking at.
And for an Eli Roth movie, it is maybe more realistic and broadly relatable than some of the other stuff he's done, whether you like his stuff or not. Like Hostel is not something I think we'll run into, and Green Inferno and Cabin Fever, although we had COVID.
Yeah.
But this is maybe it's his most relatable movie in terms of the premise, because I mean the idea that people would die horribly at a Black Friday, that seems quite authentic.
Well, apparently that was the inspiration for it. They were trying to break the story because they were getting so
They
much.
being the filmmakers.
Eli Roth. People were, he was getting a lot of I guess pressure, not necessarily in a bad way, but people were very interested, and there was a large appetite out there, no pun intended, for them to make a movie from the trailer, and and from that they had tried unsuccessfully to try to find a way to take this trailer basically of like goofy kills from a Thanksgiving killer, try to make it into a story. And his co-writer,
Jeff Randell.
Yes, they happened to be watching some of these crazy like Black Friday viral videos.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, that might be our way into the story.
Also, he's the guy who wrote, Jeff Randell wrote the trailer segment, and he wrote a short that they made of Thanksgiving. And now he's written the feature. So this is his legacy, I guess.
I guess so.
This idea.
And honestly, I have to say, if you like are really into like the A24 horror with deep metaphors, don't watch this movie because
it's not designed to be.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And it really is one of these movies where I went back and forth, and I don't want to jump too far ahead.
Well, you hadn't seen it before, right?
I hadn't seen it before, and I was really struggling trying to determine whether or not is this satire or is this just a weird movie. And that was kind of and I think we have been over the last like maybe 10, 15 years horror. I mean, I don't think that sort of. I know the term now is elevated horror. But I do think horror that actually says stuff, where you actually have good actors. I mean, we can go way back to movies. I don't know why this comes in my head, but I was thinking of like good actors in like horror type movies.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of like there's this movie called Burnt Offerings, which I probably shouldn't have watched when I was much younger, with Oliver Reed. That's like I believe it was like a haunted house story. Even Amityville Horror. You had Josh Brolin, Margot Kidder. I mean, these
James.
Yeah, yes, James. Sorry, the father.
Josh's
I knew it was
dad.
the father, so you did have these movies that were a little more than just like silly like slasher movies, or just like ridiculous like horror over the top.
Well, I mean,
horror
something
movies.
like Amityville is supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
This movie is not supposed to be scary. This movie is supposed to be fun, and it's as much not as explicitly as some of the stuff we've talked about as far as Scream and things. It's not about being in a horror movie or anything like that, but it's definitely aware of what it's doing, and which is fine. And that's, I mean, it was born literally of a joke about that.
Yeah. But also these, I like how they were like saying, this killer. So John Carver.
Oh, I just got it.
John Carver. I know. Did you, I think the original tagline from the trailer from Grindhouse was "White meat, dark meat, all will be carved."
I don't remember that. It's funny.
So ridiculous. But
how egalitarian.
So he is he's not just killing them, he's making a statement, because he's making it very I guess theatrical. I don't know. He's setting a table and he's killing these people that he feels are responsible for the deaths during this riot that occurred at the Right Mart.
Yes.
Yeah, so it does seem that part seems strange to you. Like, I know I should just get over it, but it just seems strange to me that there's like this individual big box store like just in this small like New England town.
Well, look, I mean, they could have thrown in a line or two that were like, this is the flagship store. That the guy's from Plymouth, and so he still lives in Plymouth, but he has 15 stores on the East Coast.
That would have made sense.
But I'll be honest, the question you're asking, it didn't occur to me either.
I think it sounds like you were getting into the maybe do you feel like you got into the were you like the what they were trying to do? Were you as far as the movie like
take your time.
I know I'm trying to think of how to say this, like how they. Whether this was a satire or whatever it was, did you find yourself able to kind of suspend your disbelief and kind of just get into the sort of the vibe they were putting out there for this movie?
Well, here's the thing. I was shocked because I saw this movie when it first came out. I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it, I guess it was on Hulu, which is where it is now, for those of you who'd like to see it. And I thought it was boring and dumb, and I didn't like it. And I almost think I remember that I thought, like, it just isn't trying hard enough.
Okay.
I had a really good time watching it.
The second time?
Yeah, it was way more. I guess my expectations were so in the toilet or something that it was more fun. It was more entertaining. It's more successful as a slasher than, say, Jason X, which I know sounds like it's not hard, but Jason X is like the 10th in a series of movies that are slashers. And this was more faithful to that genre with the kills, with the gore, all that kind of stuff. And I had a good time. And you can say it's about other things, which is fine, but I did not expect to have a good time with it. And you said it's been 15 years or something since the trailer.
And this is maybe 16, 17.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to wait that long because you can wait that long from a movie that I really enjoy in 2010, and then now this year we got Tron Ares, and that doesn't seem to have been a good idea. Yeah. But I don't know exactly what it was. I had fun.
I mean,
when you said you wanted to do it, I was like,
I know,
but I thought it was fun.
It's funny because I only reason I wanted to do it is because because of Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. Let's do Thanksgiving. I hadn't watched it before.
I did notice and remember that.
And I know. I mean, it's not like it takes a detective to figure out that's why I wanted to do it. But but I feel like since this was my first time seeing it, I feel like I had the experience that you had the first time you watched it. So who knows? Maybe I would enjoy it better if I watched it again. I don't know if I have the motivation or inspiration to watch it a second time.
Wait 2 years. Look, I mean, it's by Eli Roth.
Yes.
Now, Eli Roth, whether you like him or not, Eli Roth is a distinctive kind of horror filmmaker.
Sure.
This is maybe the least Eli Roth in terms of like his movies, and I like some of them. His movies they can be very, very ugly.
Yeah.
This is more silly.
Yeah.
It's as gory as some of the other stuff, but Eli Roth is the torture porn guy.
Yeah.
There's one kill in this movie that feels like maybe it could be torture porn when, the terrible stepmother gets baked alive.
Well, there's that and the head smashing.
Well, that's a murder. Like the whole tying people up at a table, that's a kind of torture. But it's not hostile. It's not Green Inferno. He's not ripping out people's eyeballs and not cutting away, like that kind of stuff. So in some ways, it feels like an Eli Roth movie because it's got laughs about its horrors, and its horrors are quite graphic. But it's not. I mean, even like I like the Hostel movies. They are
really.
I think some of them are pretty interesting.
I have not. I mean, in fairness, I have not seen them, but I'm just not into like any.
I'm usually not either.
Stuff.
I'm usually not either. But they're and they can be grueling as far as a horror movie goes. But they're not somehow. Because like
I love Pulp Fiction, but like the scene with the Gimp stuff is very. That's hard for me to watch.
It should be. It's unsettling.
Well, I mean, I know it's supposed to be
rape,
but I mean, it is very unsettling. But I'm just saying, like, that typically that would be a deal breaker for me. I didn't know that. I saw Pulp Fiction. This is how old I am. I saw it in the theaters. So
me too, 3 times.
So I didn't. I didn't know that scene was coming up.
Yeah, that was
so
shocking.
once I saw it, then it was like, okay, well, I've already seen it. I can deal with it. But had I known that scene was in there, I probably
really.
I don't know.
I didn't. You might have skipped the whole thing.
I don't like to see people. What'd you say?
I said you might have skipped the whole thing.
I don't know. Maybe I don't like to see people. I don't like to see people in vulnerable situations. That's just a me thing. You know what I mean?
But that makes sense, buddy. It's okay.
Well, but some people are okay with it because they're like, it's just the movie,
right.
and and I get that, but I think that just a personal thing for me. It's like, even knowing that it's just a movie and it's all fake, and I get that, but obviously, if the filmmaker's doing their job successfully, it's supposed to have that visceral feeling, like it's not fake, and so that's why I'm kind of like, ugh.
Well, I mean, I like vulnerability. I like it because in a movie, in a story, in real life, it's a very kind of like real trust and honesty and all those things. I don't mean by that the vulnerability of you got tied to a chair while the villain cut off a piece of your wife and tried to feed it to you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
No, and I get it.
I mean, I don't want to. I want to be clear when I say vulnerability. I mean, it's fine. The characters are vulnerable. I just don't like. People,
no, I get it.
I don't like seeing like terrible things happen to people in vulnerable situations.
Then you want to skip the Hostel movies because
no, I definitely do not want to watch those.
Also, the Hostel movies, they're dirty. Like all the environments are gross, and I don't even mean just from like blood and stuff. Like it's a horror movie staple, like the basement in Nightmare on Elm Street or something. It's just everything is just dirty and greasy and industrial and blah 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 blah. This movie is not like that either. This movie is like, it's like a town. I don't know that it specifically feels like Plymouth, but it feels like a little town with a terrible story that happened last year. And then here comes, what was it in? I know you did last summer, a fisherman with a hook.
Yeah.
So now it's a carver. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, and speaking of selling the whole idea of of the kills and everything, I have to say, the rubber head that they used for Tim Dillon's character Manny looked pretty good.
Who did he play? Which I don't remember. He
was the heavy set security guy that they cut.
The one
had the cat.
Yeah,
he had to have the little thing there where the killer. The killer's not terrible. He did feed the cat.
But see, that was funny.
That was funny.
And you know what sold
funny.
it for me?
What?
It wasn't just that he stopped and thought about it. It wasn't just that he did it. It's a little scritch. On the head. But then he said goodbye and stepped over the owner's body. And of course, the cat not caring.
Yeah.
As I have one in my lap right now.
Yeah.
The cat not caring about Dad being dead. That rang true. So that's the movie has some funny stuff in it too, and I think if you've never seen it and like just even if you think like it's probably stupid, I don't know. I had fun with it this time. I did not expect.
I guess
that.
I probably should have said spoilers, but I think by now, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're this deep into listening to our podcast, if you listen to multiple ones, you know that we do talk about the whole movie. So I'm gonna do another spoiler. The waitress. I will say the first kill with a waitress is cut in half by the dumpster. She's trying to get away from the killer, and she can't find her keys, and then she realizes the killer has her keys, and he's in her car.
Right.
So she tries to get away, because this is a brilliant idea. Let me try to get away by jumping into a dumpster. And as she's trying to crawl into the dumpster, he hits the dumpster, and the lid of the dumpster comes down and cuts her in half.
The sharpest dumpster lid I've ever
apparently
seen.
I mean, aren't most of those dumpsters plastic? Probably exactly for that reason. But
also I think that scene when you're watching her, like she's literally lit up by the headlights of her own car. That's the driver, which we don't know much about him at this point other than he wears the pilgrim mask. He stomps on the gas and he drives straight at her. And I was thinking, why didn't you just go to the right or go to the left? And I realized that must be a tribute to North by Northwest when he's being chased by an airplane, because this movie is steeped in classical. Never mind. Never mind.
Sure.
But the thing is that the kills are all, a lot of it is silly stuff like that, and the point is more that there's a lot of intestines that hang out of people, and also, he puts the lower half of her he stabs her in her crotch onto the star. That's okay. I mean, this is not depicting real murder,
which also brings us to the great cinematic line: if we don't let the police handle this, we'll all be 50% off. So Eli Roth, apparently good friends with Quentin Tarantino, did not pick up any writing tips from him.
Yeah.
As far as the characters, did you find it strange that they made a special point to talk about the new deputy, but like that didn't go anywhere? Like I kept thinking it was going to go somewhere, and like. It seems like, I don't know if they did that. They were like, oh, we're going to misdirect you by thinking maybe it's the new deputy. But it was sort of like they talk about the new deputy in town. Like, so a year later, so there's the time jump that I don't know if we mention. There's a time jump after.
There's the tragedy.
Yeah, and then there's a time jump 1 year to the next Thanksgiving after the riot deaths.
And the biggest tragedy to me was that Gina Gershon dies.
I know, real quick, she's in there.
Terrible.
They were like,
I love her.
She may have been. I mean, well, Patrick Dempsey may have been the most expensive, but she probably had to be second. That guy, what's his face? Rick Hoffman.
I like him a lot too.
I
wanted more of him.
He's from Suits, so he does bring a certain amount of. I mean, while he's not a movie star, Suits is pretty popular.
He has more of a chipmunk mustache face in this movie. It's a little. It's like they made him more dad, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it was. I think
he was going
because he was wearing the quarter zip. Sweater,
right.
As a dad, I can attest that is the dad uniform.
I get it. I have a dad too. I get it.
But he was, but he's good, and it's funny because I never would have thought like, out of all the actors in that show, Suits. Now I've only seen a couple episodes. It's not like a show I watched. I'll be honest with you. I saw more clips of it on YouTube Shorts than I did watching the show itself, like a proper episode. But I just was surprised, and it always is surprising when you see some of these like successful TV shows to see who's the guy that actually is like, because he's actually acting in. I'm trying to think what else I saw him in recently, but
he's been working a long time.
Yeah,
Suits was not his first rodeo.
Sure, but I'm saying
like I'm glad that I like him. So I'm glad that got him some notoriety.
Post like because you see some of these characters, like it almost reminds me of like the Woody Harrelson situation in Cheers. Like you're like, this guy's goofy, like he's the because so Rick Hoffman in Suits was the goofy character.
Yeah, it's pretty one note.
He would be. I mean, every once in a while he would come on like, and you'd be like, whoa, oh, he actually really is really good at his job.
Right.
And I think that was sort of like that. That's that trope of like the goofy guy, but every once in a while he like flips a switch and he becomes like a total badass.
And he's an irritant and a story block built into every episode.
Sure,
and he's very entertaining at it.
Yeah, and he. But I was like, oh, I'm surprised this guy is like he's. I just wouldn't think he'd be like a. I wouldn't necessarily say he's the breakout star, but he definitely is working pretty regularly post Suits.
I have not. I've not watched that whole series. I think I watched the first season, and it's a classic USA show. I like those shows; they're super fun, like Burn Notice and Royal Pains and all those things. And I enjoyed them. But if you were going to pick one person, I would have thought Rick Hoffman is the one that's going to marry into the British royal family. Like that seemed obvious to me. But the life is surprising. So what are you going to do?
That's true. But anyway, not the.
We probably discussed Rick Hoffman more than anyone has.
I know
Rick Hoffman.
Movie. I hope Rick Hoffman gives us a shout out. So
I enjoy your work, Mr. Hoffman.
Yeah. And so did I mention that
hashtag Prince Hoffman?
Yes. And did I mention also that thrusting a knife through a trampoline is, really not the most super effective method for killing someone, but it worked in this movie. So,
and it's creative.
It is creative. And
I'm not sure that Patrick Dempsey's character has the strength to do some of the things, like spinning people's heads all the way around.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler! He's the murderer.
Oh, yeah. Patrick Dempsey is.
He's the carver.
Yeah.
Which is not shocking.
Yeah.
But it is the way that the reveal is done. It's not that clever, but the acting sells it.
Yeah.
Both of the final girl, who's not really that final, but the main young woman who figures out that it's him, and then him being kind of irritated, like, I fumbled on the 1 yard line.
I feel like he was chosen. He was cast as, and maybe he probably thought, this is a good way for me to kind of get away from
Rick Hoffman.
Him a way to get away from his Grey's Anatomy character that it would be so different, that he is someone that I'm trying to think, like he was just that they specifically chose him because of the way he was, or what he was known for. And I think it was probably a good, for him acting wise, he was probably like, oh, this is a good opportunity.
Well, it's like the opposite of casting Bill Skarsgård in Barbarian.
Sure.
He's the bad guy, and then he isn't.
Yeah.
So it's surprising. But also keep in mind, Patrick Dempsey, I think the first thing that I saw him in was another movie that is a very specific critique of capitalism.
Uh-huh.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Yes.
Yeah. So that may be his thing.
And I think that he is. It's so funny because his journey has been. He went from like the nerd. I remember the first time I saw him when he was the police detective in Scream, and I went, "That's Patrick." That's the first time when he had his glow up, and I was like, "That's him."
Right.
I was like, the nerdy guy from Can't Buy Me Love, like, because that was pre Grey's Anatomy, and I was like, "What?"
It is weird to think that there was a time where Grey's Anatomy wasn't on television, but there was.
So, but he is definitely. But that's another thing too, is that I don't know if this worked for or against the movie. The fact that he's the killer is almost so obvious that you're like, oh, it can't be him. Because I kept thinking that the whole time.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
true.
I was like, oh, I said it's him because everybody else. You know what they didn't do. Well, maybe they
listen,
kind
it's either going to be him or it's going to be the kid whose hand got broken.
Yeah,
because when
that's way too obvious,
right? But when you find out really why he is the carver, you would have. It's impossible. For you to know all of it. Like there's a moment where he and Gina Gershon seem a little close.
Yeah,
but the whole like she was pregnant, you killed my family. Like, you can't. That's not a mystery you can solve in the movie, which is fine. But it's not like the casting, like what you're saying, is more fun. Than the actual reveal of the character.
I was just like the idea as far as who the killer would be. One of the things that I feel like they didn't do well. They did sort of do it, like we were talking about the actor that was the baseball player who had his arm broken, which he seems like reasonably that he would be the killer, but the fact that they keep throwing out that we think he might be the killer,
right,
is sort of like that's sort of the tip off that he is not the killer.
Meanwhile, that's Jalen Thomas Brooks, who's in The Pit.
Okay,
he's really good.
Okay,
and his hands work.
Was he in Twisters? Is that the guy that's in Twisters?
I don't think so. He doesn't have a lot of credits. I don't think he's in there.
Or am I just like a terrible person and confusing?
Are you mixing him up with Anthony Ramos?
I think so.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm terrible. Sorry, guys. Anyway, don't come for me in the comments. I'm admitting I'm terrible.
He has 8 credits. Interesting stuff. Like he was on Supergirl. In 2019.
Oh, nice for him.
He was on the Animal Kingdom series, but no, he is not. Just to be clear, he is not Anthony Ramos of Hamilton and In the Heights and Transformers: Beast Wars.
Good.
So now you know for the future.
I mean, honestly, it was just the hair, is what was.
Sure.
But anyway, so they didn't do. I mean, they sort of did it, but like I was waiting for them to have the point where the guy that you're like, oh, it's most likely this guy, and then they kill that guy. That's sort of like a trope that you see in a lot of these slasher movies.
Sure.
And they kind of did that a little bit, like, but not really. Like they usually make more of a big deal out of it, where it's like, oh, this is the guy, and it's like, oh, it's him, and then they kill that character, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, then who is it, kind of thing,
right?
And you see that a lot. I remember, like, I think they did that in I Know What You Did Last Summer and like the original one. And there's a lot of the slasher movies a slasher movie where it's not like Jason or Michael Myers,
right?
Like where the slasher where you don't, where it's a mystery who the slasher.
Look,
is.
It's just fun. I still remember in the theater when Samuel L. Jackson meets his fate in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah,
it's just a good time.
Yeah.
No spoilers for those of you who haven't seen it. That is a good time. That is a very silly movie.
I actually saw that in the theater as well.
Yeah, it's fun because we're old. One of the reasons 1999, one of the best years in the movies ever. So
I think that. But now here's one of the things that made me think that this maybe wasn't like satire, was the live stream misdirect, because it's such a very obvious.
Well, it's very Silence of the Lambs. And all that other stuff.
But it's very obvious and like overplayed trope. I've seen that. Like, I mean, Silence of the Lambs is the one that always comes to mind. But I know, and I can't think of. I wish I would have.
Well, Silence of the Lambs. The reason, not only is it something that most people hadn't seen. Like, I don't remember seeing something that it's the editing is so good.
Yeah.
And we're not talking like the edit. This movie is a real movie. It looks like a real movie. It's it's crafted professionally and stuff. But that scene especially, when they do the reveal, it's like, oh, that SWAT team lady looks sad. It's not like shocking. And, and when they're pulling up and they can't find it, you already know it's not right.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it is, as soon as they said that they had because I think also just with the sort of the pacing of the movie, and I think you just know when they're sending the whole I've never seen a slasher movie where they go, this is the location of the slasher. They send the whole
All
tactical team and they go there and it's actually there and they apprehend the slasher. That's never happened in the history of slashers. So it's very overplayed kind of trope that you see in thrillers and
if it
horror
has, please
movies.
let us know. Audience.
Yes, really, I would love to know when they did that, because even if they did capture someone, it's always that in itself is a misdirect. Like they captured the wrong person, and that's what made me think that, well, maybe this isn't, like, 'cause I kept trying to say this is satire, and then I was like, look at it. For some reason, that made me feel like maybe this isn't satire. I don't know.
It's just a slasher, and it's just fun, and it's not great. If I never see it again, that's fine. If I'm at Thanksgiving dinner and I forget to recommend it to somebody, fine. It's just silly fun. And the other funny moment, I meant to say this, when they're in the parade and his dad driving a truck with his two little girls, and he gets impaled from behind, his nose literally hangs off of a piece of wood, and then he starts squirting blood on his daughters, and they're like, Daddy. And I mean, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I will say, props to that whole sequence. I mean, I didn't slow it down, but when what was it, the mask of the
is that what I think? It was,
went through his face. Pretty good. Pretty good effect.
Eli Roth's movies have good gore effects.
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody falls on a table saw, I don't know what it looks like, but I found the spray of blood in the intestines. This movie loves intestines. I found it credible enough. So,
I mean, the as far as in 2023, so which was not that long ago, I think where we were, and I guess we're kind of still there, but it's like you really have two types of there's two extremes with horror. You have the elevated horror, like the A24 stuff, like Talk to Me, and
you're saying, what's the movie really? The movie is really about something. Hint: it's trauma.
Well, yeah, usually, but we have, it's sort of like the highbrow art house horror, and then but then you have like the Blumhouse jump scare, like Insidious or The Nun or something.
Yeah. Also, big movies, well made. Huge.
I feel like there's the two, but I mean, I do feel like if I would say something positive about this movie, I mean, I didn't hate the movie. I just thought it was okay, and I was a little bored sometimes. Like I almost was thinking about, and this is the social media conditioning in me, I almost wanted to tap the corner of the screen to make it go a little faster.
That's fair.
But look,
I mean, there are certainly horror movies, recent horror movies that are just big studio movies that are much nuttier. Like one of the most fun times I had watching a movie in the last few years was Malignant. Yeah. And that movie is very silly, but it also takes itself seriously. And this movie definitely doesn't take itself seriously, and that might have taken you out of it.
But what I will say, this is the thing, the point I'm trying to make is that with this, the positive thing I will say is that this movie did make money. It was a $15 million budget. It made almost $47 million. So it did make some money. It's a modest amount of money. But the good thing about that is it's once again, it's one of these like mid-level budget movies that had moderate success. That which it kind of falls in between like the elevated horror, but it's not just like jump scare either.
Well, horror is pretty reliable at the movies if you don't spend a lot of money on it.
Sure,
as a business. I
mean, and we have, and this wasn't based on any kind of existing franchise, so it's not like a Scream. So
you mean it's not based on the Grindhouse cinematic universe, which actually exists now that I think about it?
I guess, in a loose sort of way. So yeah, it's not based on any kind of existing IP or franchise. So I mean, maybe it's making some space there. Sort of like now.
Well, I mean, it is a recognizable holiday.
Well, I guess, but I'm talking about as far
I
as
know what you
film
mean.
is concerned.
I know what you mean.
And then also, we do look at something like, and I almost hate to say this movie in the same breath, but when you look at something like Sinners, which had a substantially higher budget, but at the same time, I feel like it's still occupying that space of under 100 million space. I mean, it's the higher end. I think it was like 90 million to make.
I think that sounds right.
So, yeah. So, but and it's an original. So, I mean, the fact that it made money, if it makes studios more willing to put money out there for original content. I hate using that word content. I feel like
I know, isn't it terrible? I know. I make content. Well, why don't you just make a movie?
Yeah, like
or a podcast.
And honestly, for us, we thought like being like story punk. I mean, like really, story is, and we say that thing at the end, like story matters. But I mean, it does, and I kind of feel like when I say content, it is something that I feel like it almost devalues what these people are trying to do. They're trying to tell a story.
It does.
It does.
It's just another thing on the conveyor belt of crap that we're going to shove at people from streaming and whatever. And some of these things, like this is a real movie.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it too, is that even when we talk about the movies that were like, I didn't really care for this movie. At the same time, I do feel like you said, it is real people. They're try. I don't think anybody sets out to go, I'm just going to make a crappy movie. I mean, I'm sure there are probably some people out there that look at it as there might be some people out there that are looking at it more from a business perspective, but it's got to be a very small percentage. I can't imagine it would be someone would go into telling a story. They're just like, I'm gonna make a low budget horror movie so I can make lots of money. Like this, that seems silly.
It does seem like that would be more of a personal, heartfelt project.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them suck.
So the just as some perspective on some of Eli Roth's some of his movies, the Hostel made $80 million worldwide on a budget of $4.8 million.
Yeah,
so
I believe it.
And then Cabin Fever made $30 million, almost 31, and that budget was only $1.5 million. So
it doesn't hurt to have a cast. There's no superstar actor, movie star people in it. I mean, the movie F1, they paid Brad Pitt $30 million.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's an investment in the movie. I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but they're not spending that kind of money on this.
Yeah, on Patrick Dempsey and Rick Hoffman.
It's not Sphere.
Yeah.
Where they spend all the money on the actors, so and then not on anything else.
It is also Eli Roth's highest ever Rotten Tomatoes score.
Is it?
It's got 84. I'm assuming that's the audience.
Honestly, I mean, it is his most approachable movie.
Yeah, that's true. Have you heard the Leonardo DiCaprio story? So apparently that the cat in that scene where Tim Dillon gets his head cut off, that Eli Roth said that was the best animal actor he's ever dealt with, and he called it on set. He was calling it Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my god!
so that's kind of funny.
Even better than the bear that Leonardo DiCaprio met in The Revenant. Very impressive.
But I guess so.
Well, that was digital, but whatever. They're still hard to direct sometimes.
I mean, and honestly, I also come into this that I mean, I'm always open to watching new movies. I know there are some people out there that have a thing about certain directors or certain actors, and like, I'm just not going to watch anything. I'm always very open to trying to experience something with as open mind as possible. I mean, Eli Roth. I mean, not that I hate his movies. I mean, his movies have just never been something that I've necessarily like sought out, except for this one because I was like, oh hey. Thanksgiving. It was more because of the type of movie it was.
That's part of our sophisticated process of choosing movies.
Yeah, we need a dartboard. We need a dartboard, but
probably not a dartboard for me. I'm not really
because I'm definitely not a fan of the torture porn Hostel. I mean, I think I kind of made that clear. But you know what's very interesting to me, and is that of the movies that we have talked about in all of our episodes, this year, and we're getting close to the end of the year here, as I think it's funny that some of the best movies and some of the worst movies are all from the same genre. They're all from horror.
Yeah.
I mean, like we talked about Sinners and Weapons, which are honestly for 2025 are two of the movies that I really, really loved.
Yeah, not just the best horror movies.
Yeah,
just really great movies.
And then we also reviewed. Now those, of course, these were older movies. Jason X and
The Thing.
Hey, The Thing is good. No, I'm
sorry,
talking about
the
movies that didn't really like.
Sorry. The Thing is very good.
Yeah.
Please excuse me.
So I think that it shows sort of the range of horror movies. I mean, horror movies are they really are. There's sort of a universal thing there because they appeal to a certain feeling and emotion that we have, and I think they can be a lot of different things. I just saw someone talking the other day about that. Have you heard of this term? Do you know what a vertical is?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Vertical is there's a lot of push for like I wouldn't necessarily say it's a push, but it's just something it's a new trend in storytelling that is it's short like short movies specifically designed to watch on your phone. And
that's different than just like a short.
Well, I mean, like, but I think these are designed to be.
I'm not asking you to defend.
No. I think these are designed to be actual movie or stories that are not like just like a quick hit. There's a little more to them. I don't think they're supposed to be like full 90-minute movies.
Didn't we do this already with Quibi and that worked out great?
Well, I've heard some people say that they feel that Quibi was just ahead of its time.
Okay.
I mean, it may be because I feel like maybe we just hadn't been conditioned enough. And I mean,
they spent real money and had real actors and real filmmakers and stuff, so they made a crack at it.
They made a crack at it, but I think maybe the audience wasn't ready for it yet. I feel like maybe we are at a time now where we're ready for it. But I saw
Storypunk.
Somebody
9 years later, here we are. It's happening.
Somebody said that they I forget what the name of the company was, but they're making like these short dramas, and they're called verticals. I mean, well, the company isn't specifically laying claim to that term. This is what they're calling them because I heard he kept saying verticals. I was like, what the fuck's a vertical?
Yeah.
And then I found out that it's just stuff that's designed to be watched on your phone, which is
held vertically.
Vertically.
I get it.
So
I understand words.
and I think, but they said that he watched a horror one recently, and it was like it was like a real actress it was some writer guy I follow on Instagram, and he said an actress was promoting this new horror vertical she was in, and he said it was actually pretty good. And he said he feels like horror actually works pretty good on and that. And I said, yeah, it probably does, because I feel like we are used to horror. Anyone that likes horror movies are used to the sort of the low budget feel of because you can have a good horror movie that looks low budget. I mean, look at found footage.
Sure.
That kind of blew up. I mean, you could do stuff
kind of
so cheap. So anyway, that's
well, also, I mean, we talk about story on this show, and I think if you start reading any short stories, watching short films, there's a ton of horror because it can get very fast to give you that punch, that shock, that whatever. And so I guess this is the same thing, but it's deliberately shot in portrait. And I think Quibi, they shot everything in both orientations so that you could watch it how you wanted to watch it. I mean, the biggest thing with Quibi is, if you're hiring Rachel Brosnahan to do a multi-part thing, it was called like Golden Arm or something. Like, I don't know how much money they're going to spend that they're going to say, well, we have a brand new thing that nobody knows what it is, and we're going to get enough subscribers immediately, all that kind of stuff. The verticals thing sounds like something, I mean, you just put it on YouTube and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I have to, I wish I would have, it just kind of popped in my head. I wish I would have had some stuff prepared, but maybe
no. But you're saying there's you and
there's
I
a
both
term
love
for it.
you and I
That's
both
crazy.
love genre movies.
Yeah.
And genre you can
Sure.
put about anything or in anything or put anything in the genre movie. So yeah, if somebody wants to launch a film company of any orientation, horror makes sense. That's what Blumhouse is. I mean, they do if Blumhouse makes 20 movies, maybe one of them isn't horror, but that's their thing, and they pretty good.
I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes because I certainly understand David Lynch's argument about not watching movies on your phone. However,
I don't.
If something is designed to, if that's the medium that they're going for, then I'm okay with that.
You can accept the premise, and also if it's short.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch Mulholland Drive on my phone. But if you are like, dude, you got to watch this thing. It's 4 minutes. What the hell? I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it on my desktop though, because I'm such a grandpa.
I know. I have a whole list of like short movies that some of the short movies that are online, like from these, like really. And I don't want to say nobodies because I feel like that's dismissive, but I'm just people that
would be,
but undiscovered.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like people that are putting some of this content out. This is amazing.
I'm sorry, they're putting some of what out?
Oh, sorry, stories. Yeah. See, I'm getting caught up in it. Did you have anything else to add about Thanksgiving?
No, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. I had a good time. There's not much to it more than it's a slasher that's having fun being a slasher, and that's fine.
There's not a lot to sink your teeth into. We should probably cut this short.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I'm a dad.
I was going to say definitely wearing the zip-up sweater in your heart.
Yeah. The quarter zip. I always accidentally call it 3/4 zip. Could you imagine what that would look like? It unzips to your navel.
People love dad bodies and zaddies and stuff. So maybe Pedro Pascal will wear one time like at Thanksgiving dinner, and it'll become the thing.
It'll be the thing. So, well, if you don't have anything else to add, then I guess that is a wrap on Thanksgiving and the movie. And we'll be back next week. We're going to try to get the rug back that really tied the room together. I think that'll be the goal for next week's show. And just briefly let you know, follow our Instagram page at StoryPunkPod. I have all the updates of when we release the new episodes there. We also have a Facebook page. And both of those places are where you can find out. I always put when we release the new episodes, but it is every Thursday it comes out.
Except this episode.
What?
We're hoping that.
Oh, this episode. You're right. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I was thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking of the episode that just came out. Was Thursday, and I'm like, what's he talking about? Yes, this episode will be released early
because I didn't want the audience to find out this way.
Yeah.
We live in the future.
Yeah,
this has already happened.
Yes, so sorry.
Just like Thanksgiving in 1621 or whatever already happened.
Yes. What? I'm sorry. I was reading what I was going to say next, and I missed that. But we, actually, I was looking at ahead to our year-end episodes, and those will probably air. I'll air like we're on a network or something.
Well, if you sign up to get notified, it can come out at any time.
Sure.
And you will get notified.
And we are on. Honestly, we're on pretty much every podcast platform, and if there is one that you typically like to use and you don't see us on there, please let us know. You can contact us through, probably the best way would be through our Instagram page. Mm-hmm. And once again, that is StoryPunkPod. Mm-hmm. And I am on Letterboxd if you want to see my goofy reviews. They're not all goofy. Some of them are very thoughtful and well thought out, and some of them are goofy.
And I'm on there as Solid Gould.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just posted a very thoughtful, more serious than I thought possible review of The Kingdom from Peter Berg, 2007. So enjoy.
I forgot to say my handle on Letterboxd is StoryPunkScott, and we do have a Substack. I don't want to talk about it too much because we haven't updated it in a while, but hopefully we'll have something come out.
We have some ideas.
And if that's
we focus on your show, people.
Yes, and if you don't have anything else to say, then I will leave you with, remember that story matters.